What's up, you guys? I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here to profile Sehabi Kheireddine's first place ARG 20K championship Mermail deck profile, you guys. I'm sure everyone has seen by now his performance over the ARG live stream, and of course, and how he won 3-0 in the finals with this deck. Really insane. Big congratulations to him. For those of you who don't know his name, I'm sure everyone knows his name by now. He's one of the world's representatives this year. He ended up making top six at nationals with Infernity, and now here he just won one of the biggest championships around with Mermails. And I was talking to him, and he was telling me about why he decided to run Mermail. He decided to run Mermail because he felt it had one of the best matchups against Hat, all variants of Hat, and that it was a deck that benefited um, quite well from the new draw rule, because if Mermails go first, they can establish themselves. If Mermails go second, they get an extra card and they can establish themselves. So either way, the deck is just really functional, whether it goes first or second. He made some interesting choices here. When we get to the list, I'll explain them. But he said that it had probably some of the best matchups across the line, and as you guys saw, he brought it all the way to the end and ended up winning in a blowout at the end. So big congrats to him, and good luck to him at Worlds. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into his list right now and explain some of the choices, if any seem kind of out of the ordinary. So of course, we got the two controllers, the one dragoons, the one heavy infantry, two marksmen. Of course, marksman was devastating against Geargia, just popping armor, and that was that was all she wrote. The three Undyne. He had said and told me that Undyne was like the best card in the deck. Obviously, I know a lot of Mermail players agree with that. He wanted to play cards that were good on their own, Undyne being one of them. If you guys notice, he's not playing Turge. He said that he didn't like the two-card combo approach to this deck, that if you were going to, if you were going to be summoning a monster, you wanted to get the most benefit out of it. So Undyne was one of course, the best cards because it's always going to get you a plus. So Undyne was just, an obvious choice. Of course, the one Gundy, one lead. He played only two Linde. He said that's because three can clog, and I can understand that. Sometimes you'll just draw multiple hands of Lins and not be able to do like crazy combos or win because of it. So it made sense. A lot of people might disagree with it, but he played only two Lins, so it worked out. Only one Megalo, the three Pike, and of course the three best card in the deck, which is Teus. He chose to run Mullen Glacier. He said the card was just godlike. Obviously, you set up your five waters, drop it, knock two cards out of the opponent's hand. I mean, that's just devastating. Like, everyone remembers when this deck first came out, that Mullen Glacier, you just feared Mullen Glacier. They dropped Mullen Glacier, well, you pretty much lost. Like, it was insane. It's a delinquent duo, so really, really great card, and of course, title. To the spells, we got one Allure, of course, for the for the Gen X controllers, one Dark Hole, one Mind Control. Mind Control is just so strong right now. Three copies of Soul Charge, of course. Soul Charge is just, gives the deck like even more power. Soul Charge is insane in this deck. It's one of the decks that can Soul Charge turn one and establish such a great field that it's why Soul Charge is insane. So obvious. And then three upstarts, 37 cards, the upstart theory, and just that he felt that he had enough, he had everything he needed, and that he wanted to make his deck more consistent with the three upstarts. And then onto the traps, of course, a three sphere, one bottomless, two breakthrough skill, one compulse, one warning, and one torrential. Very, very standard. Really, really good calls. So that's it for the main deck. On to the side deck. So, Karkar D. So he ran Karkar D because it's so funny. He ran Karkar D because he knew that his opponents, knowing that he was playing water or whatever, would make him go first or whatever, and he could start with Karkar and could be up. Yeah, they of course would get one more card, but he could even the playing ground by playing Karkar. So that's why it was in there. That was just insane. It was said in the commentary that if the opponent wanted him to go first, he could open Karkar and still get his pluses going. So really, really cool choice that he decided to side that card for that reason. Two copies of Effect Veilor, two copies of Flying Sea. This card's really, really good. I like really forgot about this card, and I had to read it again. This card is like a blowout against decks like Geargias, Infernities, stuff like that. They have a very hard time getting Flying Sea off the board. It makes it so they can't XYZ. Infernities become all XYZ based, so when you drop this card, they're pretty much left out in the cold, and by the time you get rid of the Flying Sea, you're pretty much attacking for game, so it makes a lot of sense. Three Max C standard, three Typhoon. The Typhoons were for the Floodgates, Defissure, Macro, Rivalry, stuff like that, and three Malevolent Catastrophe. I feel like he's one of the main players who's made this card like really, come into the light. I absolutely love this card. This card is a blowout against Hat. It's like one of the best cards against Hat since they can't trigger anything when you Malevolent Catastrophe them. So really great card. And he played a whopping three of them in the side deck along with three MST. So back row was just not an issue. And then onto the extra deck, we got one Black Rose and one Leo for the Synchros. One Dweller, one Bahamut, one Emerald. Emerald was interesting. I don't think we've ever seen a Mermail deck that played Degusto Emerald. His reason was is that he could recycle cards, and then he could make his Undines live if he were to draw controllers or stuff like that. And it helped to recycle uh, your monsters. You want to recycle your monsters. If you're not playing salvage, you want to recycle your monsters and continue on with your plays. So this is really, really interesting that he played this card. Really, really cool. One Excidon, one Alucard, one Lavalval Chain, one Dracossack, one Mech Equip Engineer, one Abyss Gaios, one Abyss Trite to go with the Bahamut Shark, one 101, one Big Eye, and one number 80 Rhapsody. So that is Sehabi Kheireddine's first place ARG 20K Championship Mermail deck profile, taking it all the way to the end, winning the grand prize of $5,000. Insane. With Mermails just after making it to Worlds a couple weeks ago at Nats, getting sixth place. He's on a roll. All his credentials were listed in one of my statuses on Facebook. It's absolutely insane. You guys would have to see it where I congratulated him for winning. Nicky Lacale listed all his credentials he's gotten, I believe, in like a year or so, and they're absolutely insane. His top in Toronto, his winning at an ARG Montreal, and his countless other tops, and then the top to get to Worlds, and now this victory here at the biggest tournament that there has been for our game. So big congrats to him. Best of luck at Worlds. I personally hope he wins, and I just hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Leave your comments below, thumbs it up, and thank you for watching.